Hey all, Kurt Sasso here from TGT Media, Entertainment Industry Interview Podcast and Video Interview Show, where we interview the creative people from the entertainment industry. We are joined today by another cosplayer, because this is March's cosplay month here on TGT. We are joined by yet another fabulous cosplayer. We've had Kojika Cosplay. We've had Jillian Sue from Little Moo Moo's Cosplay Initiative. We're now joined today by probably one of the best Jokers I've seen in at least easily the Mid and East Coast. He is known by his moniker, the Clown Prince of Charlotte, but we're going to call him Victor today, breaking the fourth wall in this regard. And how are you doing today, Victor?
Not too bad. You can actually call me Vic.
Vic,
it's
awesome.
actually what I prefer and go by.
Vic. So how you doing?
Not too bad. I'm finally glad that it's finally starting to warm up, and I'm finally glad that I finally was able to get my taxes done, so this way I can start working on my cosplays this year.
Nice. You know, the one thing I found interesting about cosplayers is their energy, their attention to detail, and the fact that they love their characters so much they're willing to do whatever it takes to bring out that persona.
Yeah, it is. It's actually very fun, and what's fun is if you can actually find that character to where you're playing, there's a good part of yourself actually in the cosplay. And I think that's what makes a lot of the cosplaying even more fun, is when you find that one particular character.
You know, I've always wanted to cosplay. I've never found that one character that kind of suits me, although many people say I should be Alpha Puck for some reason. I don't know why. But talk about your first cosplay experience, because, you know, I'm sure I don't know how long you've been doing the circuit or anything like that, but let's talk about your first experience.
My very first experience was actually kind of a thrown together, because I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida, and my first cosplay was in about 2004, and it was, did you get the case?
Yeah.
Okay. It was in 2004, and it was like the first convention that I knew of anyway in Jacksonville, and I wanted to dress up for it, and I think what it was is because when you watch a lot of comedies and stuff and they talk about like the sci-fi conventions, Star Trek conventions, you always see people dressed up. So I kind of already had that notion, and my first one was a very thrown together Kirk Connors, actually in transformation of the Lizard. And I took it cost like $50. It was like the cheapest cosplay I ever done, roughly about $50. Because I got a lab coat from a costume store, and it was like a real lab coat, so it had the pockets and everything in it. A black dress shirt and pants from Goodwill and shoes, and then just cheap Party City makeup, green, to where I put it on half my face, the right side, because in my mind, since Kirk Carter's lost his right arm, that's where he's ejecting the syrup, so that's where everything's going to happen. It's going to happen on the right side. So I did makeup on this arm, I did makeup on my neck and my hand, and you can tell I was very inexperienced when I posed for photos, because every time I posed for photos, I went like this to show everybody my makeup. So I wasn't really, that's not somebody I was in character. It's just one where it's like, hey, photo. Hey, photo. So that was like my very first experience. And then I did that again when I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, later in 2004. The next convention I went to was in 2006, and I did the character again. And then after that, I did Black Ops and Spider-Man, which I didn't make that one. I bought that one offline. And then from there, that was in 2007. 2008 was actually when I first did the Joker. And that, as I like to call my Mach 1, was not a very pretty one. There's photos of them on the site. The pants did not match the jacket. I'm actually wearing women's pants in that one. I got interviewed by the news, and it's like, oh yeah, it's great, makeup, women's pants is awesome. I was really wearing women's pants. They're comfy, but it was just a horrible costume. I did that for 2 years, and then from there, I'm constantly trying to upgrade the costume, making it more and more better, for lack of words.
What is it about the Joker, though, that you love? I mean, you really embody, from the videos I've seen, you really embody that character really fairly well, actually.
I think what it is the fact that in his mind, whatever he does is funny. It doesn't matter. He gets the joke, and I think there's a lot of stuff that I do in a lot of the sayings I say, a lot of times when I'm bothering people just to get a reaction to them, it's because in my mind it's funny. And it's also because of the way some of the actors have portrayed him, before. The one that like sticks on my mind is like Mark Hamill. So I try to embody a little bit of how Mark Hamill's Joker from the animated series, how would he kind of go about just messing with people? And I think that's what a lot of the fun is just mess with people, and I do something, I think it's funny, and it just works for that character.
Has there ever been a joke that you play at a convention that just doesn't go over well with the person that you're joking?
Yes, there has. That's been done. There's several probably where I might have gotten beaten up if I didn't walk away when I did. One, my Joker photobomb. That's just what I do. I'll photobomb. If I can see somebody taking, I'll try to be as far back as I can, but I'll try to do something in the background. It's like, hey, look, here I am. There was one where I was walking by and the guy was taking a photo. I just went up behind him and put the bunny ears. He got mad and he still continued with the photos, and I put the bunny ears right back up and walked away. So it's just part of the experience for me.
Hold that thought.
This is part of the interview when I do my sexy dance. Watch this will be cut out during the interview. Sexy dance, sexy dance.
Sorry, joy of parenting.
No, it's okay. I was still doing weird, goofy stuff while you were away. And what's funny too is when I met another funny story is when I met Brian Bolin, who drew The Killing Joke. I got him to sign a hard copy of mine while waiting in line. Me and a couple of guys, we started singing "Don't Stop Believing," trying to get people to sing along and just mess around. Like, oh, come on, people! It's a convention. Have fun. Man, I tell you what, you got some people that are like, ooh, yay, fun convention. You got those like, no, I'm here to get something signed. That's all I'm here for. And those are the fun ones to mess with. It's just like, yeah.
You know, I've seen you do a couple of video interviews as well, other podcasts from various things, especially like the outtakes I saw from one show you were on.
Oh yeah, Shot Talk for Needless Essentials. They actually had me on there as a regular, but I'm mostly out of costume. That was the pilot episode that they were filming to see how things would go. And we did it after a convention. They're like, all right, just have fun. I'm like, done.
I see a lot of quotes that you have on your Facebook page for the Clown Prince of Charlotte, and we'll get that link for you on the podcast show itself. You know, they're very inspiring in the sense that, you know, you're letting yourself, your personality show through, and the love of not only cosplay but for being a better person as well.
Yeah, and a lot of that came from because later last year, and it kind of dragged into this year, there was another, I'm not really going to say he was a cosplayer, but another Joker that, I'm not going to say names because he's already famous as is, so people can probably, but he just exploded. And that kind of I took a little bit of a hit on that because it's like, you know, he just comes out of nowhere and he's loved because of his looks, but everybody keeps praising him, but I haven't seen anything on his personality. And I kind of fell into like a dark place because when I was younger, I suffered from depression, and that's a nice thing about cosplay is like I'm able to express myself that way, and I kind of took a hit, and everybody was like, and I was really retiring my cosplaying as the Joker at that point, just like, well, there's this guy, everybody loves him, I'm going to be compared to this guy now, so I'm done. And it actually took a lot of my friends actually saying, no, your Joker's good. Your Joker's great. Your Joker is yours. Yours is unique. So really me continuing the Crown Prince of Charlotte is because of them. And the whole reason why behind the page is because I was writing with a friend. And I said, hey, jokingly, hey, I should make a fan page. You know, I don't think anybody's going to hit it. He's like, no, you should do it. And that's where the Clown Prince of Charlotte came from. It's all because of my friends and their support in me, you know, because like I've said before in some of my photos, the Clown Prince of Charlotte is nothing without his friends. And a lot of them have helped my cosplay.
Well, and I've really enjoyed the pictures I'm seeing. The variations of your costumes are really, really well done.
Thank you. Yes, one of the ones I get the most comment on is the Sinestro Corps Joker, because he's an original idea that I was toying with not last year but the year before in 2011, saying, hey, what if the Joker was part of the Sinestro Corps? Because there's a Green Lantern Batman, he needs a Yellow Lantern Joker to battle. So that's where that came from. And from there, my friends are constantly saying, try this version. Hey, what about this? And I'm taking that into consideration. I actually have a new Joker that is going to be dressed up like a member of the Bat family, and I'm just going to let that out. But there will be photos. Hopefully I'll have him done for Heroes Con. So there's that.
You know, the conventions down south are you know, you got Heroes Con, Dragon Con, a ton of other conventions that are in that area, Intervention Con as well, which would be an interesting one for you to attend too if you ever get a chance.
Yes. Unfortunately, what I hate is Heroes Con is basically my convention, is my home convention. It's the one I've been going to for years, and it's because mainly it's a 30-minute drive for me from where I live. I want to go to Dragon Con. I'd love to go to Dragon Con just because Dragon Con seems like the con for cosplayers. San Diego Comic-Con, I'd like to go, but it's not on my I have to do list because it just seems from all the media and everything that you see from it, it's gotten away from what it originally started out as. It seems more about movies and all this other outbreaks. I'm sure there's still a big comic part to it. And it does seem like there's a lot of cosplayers there. It seems like it's gotten away. It's more media based now. It's more pop culture. It's more hipsters and stuff now going for the people who don't really know anything about the characters, dress up and go just because, oh, that's the thing to do. I would actually like to go to New York Comic Con because that one still seems like out of those two, that one really seems to stay true to, you know, the comic form.
Yeah. No, and I've heard a lot of people like Baltimore Comic Con, New York. There's a couple of others in that eastern block there are good too. I mean, Toronto has a great fan expo convention. Chicago C2E2 is pretty good cosplay wise. I mean, there's some really good cosplay.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot of good stuff about C2E2.
I've had fun there. I won't be going this year, but you know, trust me, I would have loved to. But when it comes to the Charlotte convention, to Heroes Con, you know, I actually saw a couple of your photos with a good friend of mine, Tess Cooper, for Little Forkers.
Yeah, that's actually how I found you, was because of her. I mean, I met Tess last year with Little Forkers, and actually, believe it or not, one of her characters is based off me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the mayor, Victor, he's actually based off me.
Nice.
So it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, she's a wonderful person, a great funny comic as well. But
yes,
you know, you really let yourself go at these conventions. You have a great time, it seems.
Yeah.
You know, has there ever been any, like, I see a lot of cosplay pictures with like group shots there, and you won Best Male, what was it, Best Male Cosplayer in...
Best Male Cosplay for the Charlotte Mini-Con that happened in January, which I was honestly surprised, because a lot of when I enter something, it's not to win, it's to get up on stage and make an idiot out of myself on stage. I mean, I did that for one where like the grand prize was like a photo shoot, like a $400 photo shoot. And to me, that one would have been that would have been cool and fun to win the $400 photo shoot, but I get up on stage and make an idiot out of myself. And the guy that won was a Batman, so it's like, man, but it was still fun. Like, it's you give me a chance to make an idiot out of myself, I'm there. Just like at the Renaissance Festival, get hypnotized on stage. I'm the first one to jump up there to like make an idiot out of me, and that's just part of the fun, in my opinion.
Now you've been doing this cosplay creation, like actual Christians. You're not only doing the Joker, but you've also done other cosplay costumes as well. Yeah.
The ones I have a Phantom of the Opera that I want to do for Halloween. It was one of the ones I want to do for years. And I made the mask myself. And a lot of the things about my costumes, I owe a lot to my mom, because my mom, the Joker costume I have now, my current one, was her teaching me how to sew. So that was like a mother-son project where she was teaching me to sew. And then I'm an okay sewer. I can make my way around, but if there's something I can't do, I mail it out to her for her to do, then she mails it back to me. So, you know, my mom helps a lot with that. I have a Two-Face and a Riddler, and that was for last Halloween, and that's because around this time last year, I knew I wanted to be one of those two. I didn't know which one, so I made both. And it was a good thing too, because for some things I could wear Two-Face, but for work I couldn't. So I wore the Riddler. And one thing about my Riddler, everybody's so used about the question marks being everywhere. Mine only has them on the tie and the lapel and the hat. And that was one, I really liked the suit, and I kind of didn't want to ruin it with all the question marks. I might have wanted to wear it for something else. And two, it kind of looks, it gives it the Hush feel, the Hush Riddler feel, to where he doesn't have the question marks all over the place. It kind of makes it a little bit more modern, and I like that. I do have a Dark Wizard or Necromancer that I normally wear for the Renaissance Festival. Run around like that. And I think that's about it, besides the Kirk Connors I do every now and then, and the Bruce Banner, which is the same thing as Kirk Connors. You just put on a purple tie, and I have both my arms, I'm done. And I just had to retire my black costume Spider-Man, the one that I bought online, because it's falling apart. It's got a hole kind of around the butt area, and it's actually coming apart right here at the hand, and I'm not really great at sewing the spandex. And I have a Green Goblin that's in the works. So
that would be cool.
Yes.
Now you're doing a lot of mainstream characters. Have you ever wanted to do like your own creation of maybe a variation of these characters, or maybe something that you've just thought up on your own?
Well, the Dark Wizard is something I thought up of. That costume actually, I've had that since high school, and that was actually based off of a D&D character that I had. That's where he came from. But that costume's seen alterations throughout the years to kind of make him. It's like, okay, well, I got away from the D&D character now. Now it's a little bit more scary. I try to give him like the metal claws, like you see the Nag'Ghouls have from Lord of the Rings. I think that's creepy. He went from having a skull face mask to a mask with no face, like the Nazgul. The Sinestro Corps Joker was my variation of him. I would love to take the Joker costume in some other directions to see just how far I can go with them still being true to the character, but yet still have my variation. I would honestly like to do lantern versions of some of the characters. I would like to do a lantern version of Two-Face, and I would actually like to do another lantern version of the Joker. Just because I think, granted, I'm wearing a lantern shirt, but I'm not. I don't know everything there is to know about lanterns. I like the concept of the power rings. I think that is one of the coolest power rings you can have. But I'm not complete ignorant when it comes to the Green Lantern. I know at least enough to hold a decent conversation.
So I could see a red Two-Face.
Yeah, I think Two-Face would be both red and green, because you have one half red, and you would probably have the other half green. Or, let's see, blue is hope.
Yeah,
maybe blue. Yeah, no. There's no hope for Harvey Dent.
I'm like you. I can hold a conversation as pretty well.
Yeah.
Or at least enough to get by. That's where I would make a fool of myself in some cases. And then they would just walk away and it would be not good. Anyhow, what else do you have planned in terms of, like, this is the beginning of the convention season, so to speak. We're about a month in. Heroes Con is coming up, I think.
Heroes Con is like the first weekend of June this year, which I like it better when it's the first week of June, because it's like when you hit that first week of June, it's not extremely hot, so it's not that bad. Once you hit like the middle end of June, then it's hot. I know next weekend we have the Mad Monster Party, which hopefully I can make if I get my taxes back in enough time, to where I'll do my Phantom of the Opera again. After that, then there is the Charlotte Comic-Con, which is a nice little small local one. For that one, I'm thinking about bringing back my Killing Joke Joker, which is based off the 2008 Deluxe Edition. I want to verify that, because when you think Killing Joke, you think of like the three-tone shirt, but when the 2008, when he went back and redrew and recolored everything, he went from the three-color to like a solid blue with the tropical stripe, and that's the one I went with. I just like that one better, so I'm hoping to bring that one back out. And then, like I said, I got a new Secret Joker costume in the works, and I want to revamp my classic one. And then also, too, I want to try to do a gender-bent Harley Quinn. For my only issue with that, I've seen photos, because I like to try to see how other people did it and see, like, if it would work. My only issue with that is all the ones I've seen look like Two-Face, to where they did, like, a business suit, and it's like the one side red, one side black. It just looks too much like Two-Face. So I'm actually wanting to get with some of my friends who can actually draw and see what kind of concepts they can come up with and see if it's something I can actually pull off and put together. Because my weakness is I have to find a pattern. I can't freestyle anything. I have to look at a pattern and go, okay, I can use this from this pattern, this from that pattern. Because like when I built the Joker suit itself, it's actually 3 different patterns that I had to take the parts from this one, parts from this one, and a part from this one and put it together in order for it to work.
Interesting. Let's see what else here. Now, when it comes to the conventions, are you? I've seen a lot of cosplayers that either bring 2 or 3 costumes to a convention. Are you?
No. It takes like an hour or so to get in the makeup and like another good hour or so to get out of the makeup. So I'm a one costume a day kind of guy. Not against the people that like, go through 3 or 4 costumes in one day, more power to you, which I can understand that because you put so much hard work into this costume and so much hard work into that costume that you want to show them off, which I think is great. It just means, hey, I can take a photo of you today in 3 different suits and pose with you 3 different times. To me, it's just one. I'm forgetful at times, so I might forget a piece or part of that costume, and I'd be in a rush. And me going into a convention, I'm always worried about how my makeup is. Now, during the convention, if my makeup starts coming off, that's fine. If I'm halfway through, it's like, okay, well, I'm halfway through the day anyway. I don't care. But going into it, I'm always worried about, oh, God, is the makeup on my collar? Is it rubbing off? Am I sweating it off? How's my makeup? How's my makeup? You can ask some of my buddies. Just like when I think nobody's paying attention to me, I look at them and go, how's my makeup? How's my makeup? But when I think people are watching, I try to stay in character. But I'm always very particular about my makeup, so I don't think I'd be able to switch between multiple costumes in one day. And to those who do it, God bless, because I know a lot of them for Dragon Con, a lot of my friends for Dragon Con bring 3 or 4 costumes, and they say, okay, well, for this photo shoot, I dress them like this, then I have to run back to my room, switch for this photo shoot at this time. To me, that just seems like it takes a little bit more out of the convention than being able to stay in one costume and go, hey, look at me.
How's the cosplay scene in Charlotte there? Is there large cosplay?
It's getting bigger. I want to say, I don't know if the photo is on my Clown Prince. I know it's on my main one that my friend DJ Spider put up from 2011 to 2012 cosplay. But we went from like 7 people in one photo to like that big massive group of 20, 30, and that wasn't even everybody that was there. That was people that we were able to get a hold of. It just seems like each year you're seeing more and more and more cosplayers coming out,
which is good.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I think some of that is because of, San Diego Comic-Con, because that you see that on what is it, G4, and so many different sites online posting them now that I think more and more people are feeling more comfortable cosplaying. And also, too, I know HeroesCon before was kind of iffy about cosplaying, but I know a lot of us have been working with the person that runs HeroesCon and more events, and he's getting more and more comfortable with the cosplayers. He's seeing that, a lot of times we do kind of draw in more traffic, so he's becoming more relaxed about it. So I think that's a good thing too, because he was working with us a lot for the Charlotte Minicon, because he runs that one too, and he was being a little bit more interactive with the cosplayers. So I think he's seeing like what all we bring in, and also too, for Free Comic Book Day, I think more cosplayers are going to his shop to help work the crowd. So he's getting more appreciation, I think, for cosplaying.
Awesome. Besides the one celebrity you mentioned getting an autograph for, have you met anyone else that was really surprised you?
Not really, because I'm horrible with names. I'm going to be straight on. I am horrible with names because you can say like, oh, that's so-and-so. I'm like, hey, cool. And then when you go, well, that guy did, then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But no, really, out of all the ones I've really met, out of all the artists and stuff, Brian was probably the coolest that I actually talked to and got some time because that day it was a Friday. I didn't shave my mustache. I actually put the makeup over my mustache as a joke that somebody, some of my buddies recommended to see if anybody got it. And he was like one of the few people that actually said something. It's like, oh yeah, it's like a throwback to Cesar Romero. You put the makeup over your mustache. I'm like, yeah. So, but other than that, as far as at the conventions, the only other person I kind of met was Mankind from wrestling. He was there because he was working on a comic, and he was kind of cool. But other than that, a lot of times when it comes to the celebrities and stuff, you kind of have to like get in long lines and get tickets and stuff like. And I have sometimes my ADD kicks in when I'm the Joker, and it's just like I can't really stand there for that long.
Here, get the sign.
Well, another one thing about too is Cheeks. He's really cool. I interact with him almost every year. He did the concept art for the Spectacular Spider-Man. He did those character designs. He also did the two Hellboy cartoons. He did a lot of those designs and stuff. And he's a really cool, funny guy. If you ever get a chance to meet Cheeks, go up and say hey. I mean, he's a really funny guy to talk to.
I'll mention that the Clown Prince of Charlotte said that I should stop by and see him there.
Yeah, and also to tell him that he missed grabbing his butt. There's a joke behind that.
Okay.
What happened is he was talking to another artist friend of his, and his girlfriend kind of like pinched his butt, and he looked around and he said, "Who did that?" I went, "I did." So that's kind of like a little bit of a running gag. That is just like So every time he sees, him, it's like, "Hey, watch this guy. He'll grab your butt." So.
Oh, awesome stuff there, Vic. Appreciate it. Is there anything that I haven't brought up here that you'd like to let your fans and those that go to HeroCon?
Maybe just for people who are interested in maybe cosplaying. Don't be afraid to, because really, I think what happened now is a lot of people have gotten away between the true meaning of cosplaying, which was, some people referring to them as elitist. The people that constantly work out, and it's just like, oh, my costume is so great. Oh, my costume spent $1,000. Oh, you're below me. That's not what cosplaying is, and not every cosplayer is like that. And don't let cosplayers like that deter you. Really, cosplaying is your love of a character, your fandom of a franchise, your fandom of a particular character. It doesn't matter if you bought your costume from Party City, that it was a $19.99 Batman suit on clearance, or if you spent $500 to $5,000 on a movie-accurate Batman costume, because costumes can cost. My Joker one cost me about $100 for making everything. To make up a Batman costume can cost you easily $1,500 for the cowl and cape, because you'll probably have to buy it from this guy who makes it and that guy who makes it. The price of your suit doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how good or how great you look, because, yeah, granted, the better you look, the more people are going to take photos of you, the more you're going to find yourself online. But that's not what's really important. It's your personality, the life that you bring to the character. Because that's what people are going to remember you by. They're going to be like, hey, yeah, that Joker was good, but this is the one that was funny. Hey, that Batman was all right, but this one was cool. He's the one that did all the cool poses. Hey, this Deadpool, yeah, he was all right, but this Deadpool was funny. So, and that's really what it comes down to. It's don't judge yourself by other people's cosplay. Do it because you like it. Do it because you love it. Do it because you have fun, and just have fun with it. That's really the most important thing I can say about it.
I'm going to leave it at that. That was wonderful. Very inspiring. I hate to say this, but we're out of time right now, which is a shame.
Man.
Because I've had a fun time. This has been a really great interview. You can always see Vic at Heroes Con. You can see him as the Clown Prince of Charlotte. You can see his Facebook page, which we'll link on the podcast page as well. Say hi to him. Let him do wacky stuff to your butt or costume or whatever.
Or let me film like some weird random video and post it on YouTube. Or just go, hey, you're a weirdo. It's like, thanks.
But you're having fun with it. That's the main thing. And I hope everyone that meets you in either in cosplay or out of cosplay has as much of a fun time as I have had with you here today. And I look forward to having you back on in the future too.
Oh yeah, anytime. Just shoot me an email, whatever. Contact me on Facebook. Set up a time. I'm good to go. Hopefully next time I can be in costume. I want to be in costume this time, but I wasn't able to get my stuff to the dry cleaners in enough time.
Do me one favor though. We got to have a Joker laugh to close out the show.
See, that's what I hate though. It's like I can't do it under pressure. I have a good laugh. It's just I have to do something stupid to make myself laugh. That's the only thing. I hate that. It's like, hey, give us a Joker laugh. I can't. I have to do something dumb and stupid to get a laugh. I'm sorry.
Another time.
Disappointed everybody. It's like, oh man, this Joker sucks. He can't laugh on command. It's like, yeah.
That works.
Well, hopefully that's good. That's one of my giggles.
Hey, no, that's good. I love it. This, unless I can get some other cosplayers on for the next couple of weeks, this is going to end cosplay month for TGT. And so, take a look back at the past guests we've had. We've of course had Vic here with the Clown Prince of Charlotte. We've had Jillian Sue from the, Little Moo Moo's Cosplay Initiative, who's done an amazing cosplay up at Anime North. Kojika Cosplay, Fawn is doing some great Sword Art Online cosplay stuff. And, Dale Harvey, old WoW guy of mine, does amazing Gears of War, like full-on cosplay stuff as well. I'm hoping to get him on with the Together Brothers production studio because they put together a Thanos type movie, which it looks amazing. But next month, we're going to have a lot of great guests on the show, as well as the following couple of months as well, because we're doing film production studios and filmmakers and whatever. We got too many people to think about. Go to the website, tgtmedia.com, and download us on iTunes and see me on the Twitters and Facebooks and all that other fun stuff. And thanks again, Vic, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on.